let's get it kicked up and started. And we're going to start with the NBA, VeeJay. And, there was a story out basically saying that some anonymous general managers around the NBA were, quote, unquote, livid. They were livid that Kevin Durant made a ultimatum to the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, saying it's me or them, and basically that he wanted the general manager, Sean Marks, and he wanted the coach, Steve Nash, both canned and basically said, hey, Steve Marks, brought those guys in, did everything they wanted. They signed off on Steve Nash, and now basically, they're sticking the knife in both of those guys' backs, and they want what they want. Otherwise, KD doesn't want to be there. And that all sounds good, and I get it. Whenever you feel, VeeJay, like somebody's strong-arming you and they're hijacking your team and telling you what to do, even though they don't own it, people, it doesn't feel good. But the reality is, and you can stop me, but the reality is this is the NBA. And it's a players' league. And I don't care what anybody says. When it comes push to shove and it's about keeping a player compared to a coach, I'm always going to pick the player. I just am, because that's what this league is all about.
Absolutely. But you know what the funniest part about all of this is that this is business as usual. This is nothing new. It's just that the fact that it really leaked out that Durant verbalized it's either me, Marks, or Nash. Like it was put out there that these were his exact words. LeBron has done this numerous times in his career, right? David Blatt, does anybody remember that coach? But of course, no, he had nothing to do with that.
You mean David Blatt? Did they go to the finals that year?
Yeah.
He went to the finals.
Yeah, took him to the finals. Yeah, took him to the finals. But Magic Johnson, right? When he first came to the Lakers, Tom Brady with Bruce Arians. And Arians went quietly because he's already got a ring. So it's easy to go, I'm going to just go sit up in the office and just relax. We know what's up. But the reason why people have beef with it is because it was out there. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what Durant said. You could say choose the player, but I've also heard people say the Nets need to do what's best for them, the Brooklyn Nets, and not Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant. So now we're going to get into this conundrum where people are going to go, well, no, you always go with the player. Oh, well, record scratch. Let's back up. A month and a half ago, everybody was saying, a lot of people, no, you got to do what's best for the Nets. If Durant don't want to be there and they did all these moves for him and listened to him, now he wants out. Oh, no, move him then. You got to move him. So that's where I kind of sit with this, man. I agree with you. I think you probably do keep the player because it is Kevin Durant, but the Nets said they were going to do what's best for them.
Yeah, but the only problem is, first of all, if I was the owner, I would have never sent that tweet out. I think he made a big mistake because basically without him confirming that report, it would just be a report, an anonymous report, and you could always play it off that never happened. Yeah. But when he tweeted like we're going to do what's best for you, it just you don't have to justify it or validate it. Let it go. Unless it was a quote from Kevin Durant or a quote from Steve Nash saying that's what it is. It's your word against theirs. You don't have to validate it. So I know these guys think that they're so savvy and they're billionaires and they're smart, but as a newspaper reporter for the last 36 years, I'm telling you, you don't do that. Don't validate an unnamed source by lending credence to it, and that's what he did. And for all the people like, oh, this is crazy, this is the inmates running the asylum and all this, the prison and all that. Magic Johnson was one of the most revered players in NBA history. Yep. In his third year in the NBA, had Paul Westhead run out of the Lakers as head coach. Yep. Hello? Is this on? Where are all those people like, oh, Kevin Durant's the worst guy in the world? Now, I'm not defending Kevin Durant at any stretch of the imagination. But this is not new. And I agree with you, whether they write it or not, that Tom Brady, as long as Bruce Arians was there, was going to retire. Yep. And then all of a sudden, Bruce Arians is retiring out of nowhere.
And Brady's back.
And then Brady comes back.
Yep, comes right
Stop.
back. Also, too.
Stop.
Yep.
Right. So those things this is a part of the NBA. It's not new. All those anonymous GMs belly aching. It's buffoonery to me.
Yeah. I tell you something else, too. The first thing I thought of was, okay, what happened here? Like, what happened in Brooklyn? What happened? I saw
no sleep till Brooklyn. I think that's what it was.
Beastie Boys, baby. That's early mid '80s right there. That's us. But I really want to know what happened here. Why all of a sudden does he not want the coach and the GM? And before it was just about the Kyrie thing and then the vaccination. Scoop Johnson came out, I think it was yesterday, day before yesterday, said that it wasn't Harden. Harden didn't leave because of Kyrie. That's all fluff. He knows firsthand. His exact words, I know firsthand. That's not what it was. Him and Kyrie are cool. I want to know, Rob, what happened here, man, to where the wheels in Brooklyn have completely fallen off to now names are being and quotes are being dropped. It's me or them type thing, man. I mean, you guys are in the know a little better than I am. Could you imagine what's going on in there and what exactly happened that's leading to all of this?
Well, I mean, I just think when something goes awry, and it's just a lot of things. When they were together, they were great. And I mean, like this whole narrative, and I know we could talk about it forever. Kevin Durant's foot isn't on the line when he knocks down that three. That could have changed the whole dynamics of this.
Big time.
I mean, that is really how close it is, right? I mean, think about that. He almost did it by himself. James Harden was hobbled. Kyrie was injured. And yet he would have knocked out Giannis and them. It would have changed so many things. They might have gone to the finals that year. They might have won it. You know, they might have. That's how great Kevin Durant was playing. But last year with the vaccination and Kyrie derailed the season, James Harden just wasn't himself. We saw it in Philly. Like, the Nets actually got lucky because James Harden's going the other way. When he got to Philadelphia, he played great for like 5 games, and then he went down to 2. But anyway, I think it's easy, and I think you're right that this stuff happens behind the scenes a lot. There's always those conversations. And people you wonder, why did the coach retire all of a sudden? Or he said he wanted to spend more time with his family. And then a year or 2 later, he's got another job.
Yeah.
Right? Because it really wasn't about that. People try to save face all the time. And I think that's why I think the Nets owner made a huge mistake by validating it.
Opening night. Balls tip for the Brooklyn Nets. Are Kyrie and Kevin Durant wearing Brooklyn Net uniforms, in your opinion?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know where they're going.
Exactly.
And when the owner talks about doing what's best for the organization, giving away Kevin Durant, and especially to the Boston Celtics, to me, can't be. It's still a business. You're still trying to sell tickets. Do you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Like, you can't do that.
No.
Like that. Like it hurts your bottom line. People who bought season tickets demanding a refund if you're in Brooklyn and they break that team up. I mean, there's a lot of ramifications financially that hurt you as well. So we're going to get into this, and we want to hear from you. Is Kevin Durant's them or me ultimatum really as egregious as the anonymous executives say it is? Or is this the NBA as we know it?
Yes, sir. So let's get right to it, man. We got Tim coming in from the ATL. Tim, you're live right now on the Odd Couple. Rob, Parker, VeeJay Huskey. How you feeling about Kevin Durant and this whole thing going on with the Brooklyn Nets? Talk to us, Tim.
Yo, what up, Rob? What up, VeeJay?
How you?
What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? Good. I got a different take. Check this out now. So if this is Steph or this is Giannis, I don't hesitate. And usually you go with the superstar. I get it. You know, I remember, I'm old enough to remember Magic and, you know, with the Paul Westhead thing. But I just don't trust KD and Kyrie. I mean, you could give in and give them what they want this year, and they turn around the next year and come up with another excuse of why they don't want to be there.
Okay,
I just don't trust.
Let me say this, Tim. Hang on. I agree with you from this standpoint. If I'm Joe, what is it, Tsai? What's
Joe
his
Tsai?
Tsai, the owner, KD has to commit to the 4 years, the rest of his contract, if I'm going to make that move. Do you know, like, you got to give me a commitment, no trade request, nothing. If I'll do this, but you got to be here, play out your contract, and win me a championship in Brooklyn. That's the only way I would do it.
Yeah, now if I could get that, that's the only way. Because otherwise, I don't trust him. I don't trust him.
Right, but this isn't new. You could admit that, right? This ain't new.
No, it's not new. No, I'm 54 years old. I'm old enough to remember Magic Johnson with he literally ran that guy out of town,
right.
out of L.A. So.
Yep, and Magic's considered one of the greatest. Nobody holds that against him. I'm not saying it's a good look, and especially with KD, but it ain't the end of the world. Thanks for the call, Tim. Appreciate it.
Man said he can't trust them, so I ain't mad at him. Public enemy style. All right, let's go over to your spot, man. Somebody coming in from D-Town, Detroit. I believe this is Racy Day. Is how it's Racy Day? Racide. Okay, Racide. Racide from Detroit. Talk to us about Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, that's super Racide. Thank you, brother. I appreciate
super.
you.
Super. No, my bad. Super.
Racide. So this is the super perspective. And, yeah, that's right. I can trust Kyrie and KD. Trust them to do what? Make Brooklyn relevant. They made them relevant. They made them, for 3 years, projected to win the championship. So, therefore, they made Brooklyn. Bro, Brooklyn was what? Bottom feeders. Brooklyn was struggling. And then along came these two and made them a household name. So, yeah, I'm with KD. I'm with Kyrie. Matter of fact, Kyrie need to make some demands too as well. And I think KD want to get rid of that GM because of the way he treated Kyrie. Because, look.
No. Kyrie, I don't even – what demands? He hasn't played – enough for me. I'm not giving him an extension. This is like a year to reestablish VeeJay. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. He needs to reestablish himself. That's why there was no takers for trades for him. You can't trust him. You're talking about not trusting Kevin Durant. You can't trust him, and he has to reestablish himself. I'm not giving a guy a max contract extension when you haven't played for us. I don't care.
I agree with you. I wouldn't have given him the 4 or 5, but what I would have done is try to get him to compromise on maybe a 2 or 3, since Durant still got 4 left on his deal, and he's making 37.
I want him to get back to
I get it.
Playing basketball, and sometimes, when there's a walk year and you have to play for your bread. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
That might be the best year you get from him.
Well, his guaranteed $37 million anyway. So even if he halves it this year, then he's still going to make his $37 million. So that part of it didn't really matter to me. But we'll take this last one from my home state, man, the big VA, Virginia. Scott from Virginia, man. You're live right now on The Odd Couple. Rob Parker, VeeJay Huskey sitting in for Chris Broussard. Talk to us, buddy. Where you stand with Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets?
I look at this as a business perspective right now. You have to realize KD has been throwing a lot of drama. A lot of drama. Golden State had drama. OKC, he had drama. And now in Brooklyn, he's had drama. Do you think these playoff teams want to have that drama? Regardless, he's talented, top 5 in the league. But you have to consider a team, Boston, having to ship off 2 starters, 3 benched, and 2 first-round picks. But then you've got Sacramento on the other side that has the capital, OKC. He can make a homestand back at OKC because they've got 47 first-rounders in the next 5 years.
Yeah, as if that's going to get it done for you. You need talent.
Yeah, you need talent nowadays.
Exactly. I mean, look at Lillard. Lillard's been holding the team up the whole time he's been there. You're going to have him and 4 bench guys starting. That's all he has to realize that.
No, but I think it comes down to, thanks for the call, appreciate it,
Yep.
Being relevant and being in the mix. And Kevin Durant's one of the best players who ever played this game. And sometimes you got to deal with a person's personality and how they operate. And sometimes people who are really talented or quote-unquote geniuses, they're different and difficult people to deal with. It's not that easy. Everybody's not the same. Some guys you don't have to bother with, VeeJay, and then there's other guys that you got to coddle and make them feel good all the time and bend over backwards to make them feel right. And it's a delicate balance. Do we have one more to squeeze in?
Yeah, we got one more to squeeze in, man. Jerome from Charleston is on right now, man. You're live on The Odd Couple. Rob Parker, VeeJay Huskey. Talk to us, man. Kevin Durant and the Nets. Where do you stand with it, brother?
Time to make the best deal and send him packing. He's too much of a headache. He's going over the coach and the GM's head to the owner. Oh, no. That's
There's no back.
insubordination.
But what package? This is the problem. You're not going to
Yeah.
get equal value.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, you're going to just dump him for no matter what it is?
No, we're going to make the best possible deal we can make, and then he's got to go. Because this is like insubordination in the military, and you know how they treat that. To make the best deal you can make, I spent 9 years in the Air Force, make the best deal you can make, and then say, see you, Kevin, it was nice knowing you.
So the Lakers should have traded Magic when he wanted Westhead fired?
No, that's different.
Why?
He ain't the superstar Magic is. He's
Magic
the
was
superstar.
in his third year. I'm just asking you, what's different?
He's not the superstar Magic is.
No,
okay?
Magic is now, but he was a third-year player. He wasn't a seasoned veteran. He hadn't won 5 championships at that point. I know he came in and he was great from day one, but he was still a young player that ran Westhead out. I'm just saying, I get it, and I'm not, trust me, when Kevin Durant and some of these guys and the headaches and all the other, it's just a different world we live in. And you got to be able, VeeJay, to manage people.
Yeah, not only
it's
that.
It's just different. It's different. And if you think that this is 1980, you will be in bad shape.
I have to agree with Jerome on this. I'm from the military, too. I served United States Army. My mother was a colonel. My father was an MP and a master sergeant in the United States Army, 25 years plus for both of them. So I understand what he's saying about chain of command, to go over the owner and the head coach and the GM to the owner. So that point of it, I believe. But I do agree with him also, too, with the Magic Johnson thing. You're saying, it was only his third year. But Magic had already won them a championship. We saw what Magic was. We knew what Magic was going to be.
Westhead won the championship. He was the coach.
I know he was, but Kevin Durant hasn't won Brooklyn anything, though,
No,
Rob.
but Kevin Durant's won 2 championships and was the finals MVP. Don't act like he has nothing on his resume.
I didn't say that. I didn't act like that at all.
But Westhead was the winning coach in that finals that Magic won.
I get it, but
come on.
But you said yourself, though, you go superstar over coach.
No, I know, but I'm just trying to make it out. And my point was that this is not new. You can paint Kevin Durant with any brush you want.
Yeah.
But this has been going on forever.
Yeah,
That's all.
Durant's my guy. I saw Durant for the first time when he was 16 playing for Montrose Christian Academy in PG County and played with DC Assault, AAU basketball team in Washington, D.C. I've always been a Durant fan, but I do feel where some of the fan base of the NBA is coming from is starting to get old, Rob. It's kind of just the drama with Durant. It's just kind of like, here we go again.
This is the world we live in. It happens. It's happened everywhere. Yeah. And if you don't adapt to it and figure out these guys, it's going to be a problem. All right.